We don't have stories about clients who had to close their doors. We have a lot of stories about clients that thought they were going to have to close their doors and how all these various programs kept them in business. And, it makes me proud to know that I advised them through that. I think that the PPP1 program, and followed by the PPP2 as well, really saved most of the businesses that we work with. I think if they had not had that program or some other similar program of that nature, we would have seen a lot more businesses close. I think it really did save the businesses here in Maine.
We decided to shut down on right in the middle of March and lay off all the employees to try to preserve any cash flow to reopen once business picked back up. We were under the impression that it wasn't going to last, the shutdown wasn't going to last quite so long.
It was a challenging time for him. He was 100% closed, had a lot of overhead, and there are low margins in the restaurant business.
Once we heard about the PPP and received it, that gave us an opportunity to reopen very quickly and start bringing some staff members back to get the restaurant ready to reopen. It really was a lifesaver, and it being a small business, we are tied to the restaurant on a personal level.
We worked together, and he got PPP funding as well as other funding that was out there from the SBA and some other funding that came out later on, and was able to keep all of his employees on board during that time and paid, which is pretty amazing.
It was literally just a sign of relief to see money in the bank account and knowing that we could pay our staff and get open. I trust what she has to say, and she's a lot of times will just pick up the phone and talk to me, even if it's not accounting related matters, to sort of help me, put me at ease, which is sort of why that is the reason why we stayed with her for the last 10 years.
The CPA funding portal was beneficial for our firm. It gave us the opportunity to have control of the process. We said, well, if the CPA group is offering this to us and recommending it, we're going to move forward because then we can control the process. Because that was some of the challenge we had with PPP1 is the banks controlled the process. As we move to the forgiveness process, I think that it's very similar in that we're going to have control. So for example, with Matt, we can help him through that forgiveness process with a system that we know how it works versus each time we help with one of the other banks, we have to learn their portal system and kind of the quirks with it. I think that the moment where I was most proud this year has kind of been recently reflecting back on what happened and how our clients are still all pretty much in business. I think when the historians record about what happened these last couple of years, I think they'll talk about how the advisors, in particular CPAs, assisted to get clients through a very difficult time by providing advice and education on what was going on with the PPP. I think without having all of that advice shared from the CPAs, it would have been a lot more difficult for clients to get through the process and understand what was really needed to be able to obtain the PPP loans or the grants or the EIDL and how it all interplayed and worked together.